When Ruth's family moved during her sophomore year of high school, they stayed in a motel for 3 weeks. Their dog, Frosty, was tied to the corner of the motel on a 60-foot rope. If the motel was 45 by 35 rectangle, that's convenient. How many square feet could Frosty wander? Write the exact answer and the answer to the nearest hundred. All right, these types of problems tend to throw students off real bad. But if you think about it, then it becomes pretty apparent what you need to do. So, it's not a circular motel, it's rectangular. There we go. And I've kind of, purposefully exaggerated this so that it's not proportional. And then what do they say? Well, he's on some kind of rope. Here the dog is. And my dog is just a circle. Some of you guys would be like, well, make it a stick figure dog. I don't even know if that works, but whatever. Okay. In any case, here's what they told us. They say that he's on a 60-foot rope, right? 60 feet. And I know this is not proportional either. Not that I care. And I hope you don't either. If you do, then just try your own and make it look much better than mine. But this motel, it's 45 feet by 35 feet. That's what it said right here, okay? And we want to know how many square feet can Frosty wander. I'm just going to use the decimals on this. I'm not going to worry about finding the exact answers, even though we may see them, okay? So I'm using pi on the calculator. Well, here's what happens, okay? Is old Frosty, I think I need space right there, 60 feet, right? So what happens is from this, if he were to stretch out this rope right here, then, he could go 60 feet in this direction, we'll see, and then, 60 feet in that direction. And let's just assume that I drew this real well, okay? All right, we're still making that assumption. Well, you could say, Frosty could go in a full circle like this, and we're still pretending like I'm drawing real well. But you can go in a full circle like this. The problem is you got the hotel in the way, okay? So in actuality, once he gets to this point right here, then he's kind of just looking at this kind of circle thing right here. And how much rope is he gonna have? Yeah. And then over here, this one right here he's gonna be able to go through this much right here, okay? Now, the reason I did that red and orange part right there is because I'm really ignoring this green part right here. And what I'm looking at here now is 3 different circles. He can cover the area of all 3 circles, assuming there's no other buildings over here, of course. And then we're going to make that assumption. But you got the green circle, you got this red one, and you say, well, that's not a circle. That's right, because I didn't finish it. There is a circle there. And this is important for you to think about. Well, what portion of the circle is this? It's interesting. And then we got this other orange circle right there, okay? Well, what we need is the area from all 3 of these parts, okay? So I would look at the area of the green circle first, and I'm trying to color coordinate this. And I'd say, well, if it was a full circle, then it would be pi times the radius, and this radius, of course, is the length of the leash right here. It's 60. So I'd have 60 times 60. But I can see, just the way that I've drawn it, is that old Frosty, he can only go 3/4 of a circle. So I'm going to multiply that by 3/4 of a circle, because that's as much area as the green circle will cover. Which, when I put into the calculator, let's see what this gives me. And again, I do want the decimal on this one. I'm just going to round this to the nearest tenth. So pi times 60 times 60 times 3/4. And I got 2,700 pi, but I want the decimal, which shows 400. 8,482.3. And yes, this is square feet, but I'm not going to worry about the label until I figure out all 3 parts. Okay? So next up, I'm going to look at the area of this red. Now that's part of a circle. And again, hopefully we understand that it's 1/4 of a circle right there. See that? So when I want the area of that circle, formula stays the same. Pi times the radius times the radius. But we may wonder, well, what is the radius of that circle? Well, the radius would be this part of the rope right there, okay? Now, of course, 35 of it was used up right here. It should be 60 full feet from where he is originally to the edge of that green circle. So how much would be left for the red right here? Well, 60 minus 35 boom, 25 feet, okay? So it's a 25 radius circle. Now this is the formula for the full circle, but what do we see? This is only a fourth of that actual red circle. So I'm going to multiply it by a fourth, or you could divide it by 4. It's going to give you the same answer. So pi times 25 times 25 times 1 divided by 4. Oh, this one gave me the decimal. It was generous. So the area of the red is 490 point, again, I'm going to the 10th. So I got 0.87, so I'm going to make that 0.9, and that would be in square feet. Well, then we want the area of this orange part right here. And again, we are looking at about a fourth of that, well, it is a fourth of that circle. So to find the area of the orange, it's pi. But again, we need the length of that part right there. Well, this is 45. The green is 60. So the orange would be what's left over there, which appears to be 15 feet. So I got pi times 15 times 15. And again, that's just a fourth of a circle, so times a fourth. So the area of the orange part, just the part that he can go or cover, is pi times 15 times 15 times 1 divided by 4. I get 176.71, so I'm just going to make that 0.7 right there, okay? Now don't get caught up in the fact that this, like the other part of the red and the orange here, like it's in the green, but we already covered that with the green area right here, okay? So to figure out the amount of area that old Frosty can cover, we're going to take that 8,482.3 and also the 490.9 and the 176.7. Just going to add these together. And that will tell me the total amount of area that old Frosty here can cover. So 3 and a 10 and a 9, carry the 1 is a 9. Well, it's a 15 and a 4 and a 2, a 10 and 11, 9,149.9, again, square feet. Make sure you label that right there. But that would be the total amount of area. In fact, I'll shade it because it's going to look pretty. That was almost completely within the lines. But we've seen my drawings suck, and I don't feel bad about that. I forgot this little part right there. Something about happy trees or something.